face lit up, and I caught an echo of the infamous Slade grin. His grin had magically persuasive properties, too, from what I'd observed when he talked his way out of detentions. She cleared her throat and glanced at the other moms, who nodded encouragingly. "Here's the deal, Trina. Slade needs to learn some responsibility, and I know he's capable of it, even though his father says— oh, never mind. Anyway, I know how responsible you are. You're always on the honor roll, and Mrs. Forrester raves about your babysitting skills. And didn't you organize that Burger Barn boycott last year?" "Slade's great with kids," Mrs. Gonzalez piped up. "Slade's great with kids," Mrs. Gonzalez piped up. "Max is taking swimming lessons from him at the rec center, so I've seen him in action." I tried not to snort again. "Okay, so it just so happens that I don't know how to swim. Yet. But that's a whole other story. But seriously, paddling around with kids in the shallow end and blowing bubbles? How did that compare to having complete responsibility for children all day, including potential potty emergencies? Just think how much easier it will be for you, having someone to help wrangle the kids," insisted Jillian's mom. Right. Like Slade was going to be super nanny. I fiddled with my binder and the sharp plastic corner dug into my leg. I remembered how I'd been stuck next to Slade during bio class last year. "What is in that thing?" he'd asked, staring at my binder like it was a pile of toxic waste. "Only my entire life," I'd told him. "Homework, college apps, articles on time management, recipes, medical records." "You keep your medical records in there?" He'd stared at me in mock horror with those hypnotic topaz eyes, but I was unmoved. "Not my medical records. They're for the kids I babysit, in case of emergency. Because you never knew when disaster might strike." He'd busted a gut laughing in my face. "You're a trip, Clemons." His eyes weren't so pretty then. Mrs. Gonzalez's voice jolted me back to the Sugarfield Tribunal. "We'll still pay you the full salary we agreed on for taking care of both kids." That didn't make sense. Don't you need to cut my salary in half, so you can pay Slade the other half? The moms gave one another cryptic looks that made my spine tingle. Dr. Edmunds sighed wearily. It must be hard being a slacker mom, or a mom to a slacker, whatever. "Mrs. Gonzalez and Mrs. Forrester will pay you as agreed previously," she said, "and I'll pay you an extra half salary to, subsidize the time you'll spend mentoring Slade." Mentoring? That was so not going to happen. But I was still confused about the money. Then who's paying Slade? He's not going to do this for free, right? Not even he was that clueless. The moms grabbed cookies from the platter. Apparently I wasn't the only one who used sugar as a stress buster. "I'm paying him," said his mom, her voice soft. I stared at her, shocked. What kind of guy would let his mom pay him to be mentored? And wasn't she violating some code of ethics, doing this to her son? Maybe I should report her to whatever board-regulated shrinks. "He's not going to know," she said quickly. "He's going to think the payment is coming from Max's mom. We're presenting this as you being Jillian's nanny and Slade being Max's nanny. But, of course, you'll be the one in charge." My stomach flip-flopped. "I'm sorry, but I can't agree to that. It's not right, and it's not fair to Slade." I couldn't believe I was defending the guy, but this was crazy sauce. "All right, Trina, I'll pay you an additional full salary," said Dr. Edmunds, not missing a beat. What the heck? "Think about it, Trina," said Jillian's mom. "You'll earn your full salary from me and Mrs. Gonzalez, and an extra full salary from Slade's mom. Didn't you tell me you wanted to buy a new laptop?" These women were crazy. Maybe they were drunk. I narrowed my eyes suspiciously at their glasses of tea. Suddenly, Slade's mom jumped up and started pacing, which had to be tough in the tight skirt she wore. I reached for one of the homemade granola bars she had brought, then almost choked on the chalky, sandy grit lodged in my throat. Yuck! Apparently Slade's mom was an even worse cook than mine. That might be the only thing he and I had in common. "My son is a good guy," Dr. Edmunds said, and paced some more. "He has a good heart." Pace. "He just needs to learn some organizational skills." Pace. Pace. "And he likes kids. This job will give him a chance to show what he's capable of." Pace. "To prove to his father." Her voice trailed away.